God, you guys, did you realize that there is an ancient curse that plagues the theater community? It's called the Curse of Macbeth. It's an old theater superstition where people actually believe that the play Macbeth, written by Billy Shakes, is cursed. So much so that you can't even mention the name of the play in any theater for fear of Macbeth. Most people refer to the play as the Scottish play because it's actually about a Scottish king. Some people refer to it as the Bard's play, although that's not very specific, is it? I like to refer to it as Big Mac. So how did this curse get started in the first place? What are its origins? Let's find out. Throughout history, many productions of Macbeth have been plagued with strange accidents, crumbling sets, falling lights, cell phones going off in the middle of the show. Legend has it that way back in the Elizabethan times, when the show was first produced, the actor playing Lady Macbeth, who was a dude, they were all dudes back then, actually died right before opening night, and Shakespeare had to go on in his place. Can you imagine what it must have been like for Shakespeare to go on for his dead friend with no rehearsal in front of thousands of people in drag? Talk about an actor's nightmare. And I also heard a story about a lightboard operator at the Globe Theatre who mumbled Macbeth under his breath and tragically fell 16 stories and broke his lightboard operating finger. But all of those are unsubstantiated stories, and there's a lack of evidence that any of them actually happened. Shut up, fake news. And still others have surmised that the show is cursed because of the incantations spoken by the three witches at the beginning of the show. Word has it that Shakespeare actually stole those incantations from an actual witch's spell book, and that when they are spoken aloud, they cast a curse upon the show. So many people believe you should never recite those incantations unless you're actually doing the show. You know the part I'm talking about, right?
Double, double, toil and trouble, fire, boom, and cauldron bubble. Double your pleasure, double your fun, with double mint gum.
You remember that commercial? You know, from the 60s? Of course you don't. You're a child. My favorite story about the origin of this superstition comes from the fact that historically Macbeth is a very popular play. It brings in a large audience, and it's a real crowd pleaser. I mean, it checks all the boxes. Witches, ghosts, blood, gore, beheadings. Real family fare. And because of its popularity, theater producers in the past used to close productions that were performing poorly at the box office and replace them with productions of Macbeth to recoup their losses. So if you were ever in some show and you heard an actor backstage reciting lines from Macbeth, you could assume that the producers were about to close your show and open a production of Macbeth. And furthermore, that actor got cast and you did not. What's up with that? Now, regardless of the actual origins of this superstition, the show is cursed. It is cursed. And if you don't believe it, you better believe that every other person in the room does believe it. Now, it's important to note that the bad luck is not necessarily brought on by doing the show itself. This curse can plague any production if anyone so much as mutters the name Macbeth at any point in time inside a theater. You just can't say Macbeth in a theater ever. It's kind of like Harry Potter, you know? He who shall not be named, Voldemort. Oh, shit! Oh God, I said Voldemort! Oh no! That's so much worse! Oh my God! Stupid! God! I rubbed a lucky rabbit's foot and I said Rumpelstiltskin 3 times and I haven't died yet, so I think I'm okay. Oh, that was close. It's just like that, right? One slip of the tongue and you could actually murder somebody. If you utter Macbeth backstage, you will regret it. You'll get yelled at. Actors get really testy about this stuff. Trust me, I know from experience. You will bring upon the curse, and horrible things might happen, and it will all be your fault. Sets fall apart, you're responsible. Someone dies, you're the one to blame. Someone gets sick, it's your fault! And even small things might happen. Actors might go up on lines, props might go missing, old ladies will loudly unwrap their candy wrappers in the audience, loud farts might escape during the quiet parts, and even quiet farts will be smelt by everyone. And the rules are very clear on this subject. Section 13, Clause 42A clearly states, any actor who mentions the Scottish play in a theatre is personally liable for any death, injury, or flubbed lines. Yes, you legally could be held personally liable. And most private insurance plans do not have a Macbethery clause. And it's no defense to say that you were just joking or that you were just muttering Macbeth under your Macbreath. If anything goes wrong, everyone will blame you for it. So you never want to say break a leg, Macbeth, as you're walking out on stage, unless you're wearing a construction helmet and knee pads, and even then someone else is liable to break more than just a leg. If someone says Macbeth and enacts the curse, is there a way to counteract it, to get rid of it? Fortunately, yes. If you wish to have the curse reversed, you'll need a certain potion first. Actually, you'll just have to follow a series of arbitrary steps. 1. The actor must leave the theater immediately. 2. The actor must spin around 3 times. Now, in the olden days, the actor actually had to run around the theater 3 times, but nobody does that anymore. Unless, of course, you want to send the actor to the nearby Starbucks to pick up lattes for the rest of the cast. 3. The actor must spit. Although I predict post-COVID that this step will get the axe. I mean, who wants to bring on an even worse curse by spitting, right? 4. The actor must curse. Cursing to get rid of a curse. Interesting. I prefer to use the word shit because it's English for merde, which is French for good luck. 5. The actor must recite cleansing words from another Shakespeare play, such as, if we shadows have offended, think but this and all is mended. So, brush up your Shakespeare. 6. The actor must knock on the door and beg to be let back in. And it's often the panicked stage manager who lets you back in. Where the hell have you been? I've been looking for you everywhere. Why are you running around the theater in your costume? Where's my latte? Now, I think that the reason that there are so many steps to abolishing this curse is so that the actor gets put through the ringer and never does it again. And because there are so many steps to abolishing this curse, you never want to say Macbeth as you're walking out on stage. Otherwise, they gotta stop the whole show, and everybody in the audience has to wait for you to go through all these steps, and that line at Starbucks can be really slow sometimes. But you might ask, what if somebody in the audience says Macbeth? They're in the theater, right? Will it affect the show? I think as long as they're wearing a mask and practicing social distancing, it should only kill them or the people around them and not affect the actors on stage. But we need more data on the subject. Now, wait, before you go, there are a few exceptions to this superstition. There are times when you actually can say Macbeth legally. Section 14, paragraph 22b of the ordinance states that if you are the actor playing Macbeth, you are allowed to say Macbeth. Apparently they're already so cursed by the role that the bad luck just slides right off of them. And paragraph 22c states that if the word Macbeth is in your lines, you can say it as long as you are rehearsing or performing, but never on a break. Now, some lawyers and judges have interpreted the law to mean that you can say Macbeth if you're referring to the character, but you can't say Macbeth if you're referring to the play. So if, for instance, you say, I like Macbeth, he's a good guy, you're fine. But if you say, I like Macbeth, it's a good play, you are so royally screwed. And like I say, it's better to just keep your big mouth shut. And I also wanted to say that despite the fact that I mentioned Macbeth about 100 times in this video, that it is okay to share this video with your actor friends in the dressing room. I paid good money for a curse protection program. And if you like theater superstitions, this playlist will have a lot more coming soon. If you don't want to miss those videos, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. And whatever you do, do not say Macbeth.
Double your pleasure, double your fun.